he just asked me some very thought-provoking questions. So, what was I doing? And I found out during that conversation that I was what they classify as comfortably poor. So,
got it. Hey guys, welcome to our podcast. We are bringing our new CEO here, and he is the CEO. Paul Rozier is the CEO of AlignIQ, and he would be the one giving you the briefing as well, what his company does, what his product is about, and how he adds value to the people he works with. So first of all, Paul, thank you so much for joining our show.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, Paul, tell me a bit about yourself. What was your journey like before you were into AI?
Let's see. I kind of juggled between engineering and engineering design. So I originally came from the auto industry. I was a CAD engineer, and then I got into physical product development. So, the cars that you drive, I used to work on everything from the chassis up, and I did a lot of work on design of interior systems as well.
If you mind me asking, were you an automobile engineer?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I worked for Ford, GM, Chrysler, Toyota, a long time ago. It wasn't anytime recent, but at the core of my professional career, when you design cars, project management and project program management sort of becomes like part of your daily life, because you're doing everything from concept, or as we say today, ideation, through production, manufacturing and production. Different space, but you're still trying to create something that adds value to a way that we live, work, learn, and play.
True. That's valid. And were you working with cross-functional teams, like interdepartment communications, getting documents from one side to another, and then focusing on your project?
Absolutely. All over the world. But I mean, back when I started, we were using like Texas Instrument desktop printers that would scroll out the stuff, and there were green screens. So as I say, AI is not just for young people, because I plan to be around for a while. So I know I'm gonna be living with it as a construct in my life. So I need to understand it.
How did you find AI Product Accelerator? Did we find you? You found us?
I probably had a flag out there waving it on the internet. So I had been looking, Google, YouTube, Instagram. Every time I would see something go by as related to an AI application that was supposed to add some value, sometimes I would look at the videos, and one day I just happened to pop up my Facebook. And I really wasn't on it. I'm not on it a lot, but this little video scrolled by, and it was this guy named Duval Bat, and I'm going to say his countenance, the way that he came into the video, it caught my attention. It wasn't like he was waving AI all over the place. He came in and he was having a discussion about lifestyle, about some very factual things that we were seeing in the speed of technology and adaptation, and about career management and what someone could expect if they didn't take into consideration that this was a paradigm shifting technology. So I listened, and then I touched the screen and the little form came up. I started putting my information in, and then I got scared and I passed the screen because it's so much garbage on AI. I mean, it's so much garbage on the social media. So I remember the day that happened too. That was like July that was like April 1st. So it was April Fool's Day. So I didn't know. He basically explained to me what they were looking for as far as a fit was concerned, had me talk about my background and everything like that. And he just asked me some very thought-provoking questions. So, what was I doing? And I found out during that conversation that I was what they classify as comfortably poor. So,
God.
and it's a fact. It is, I think a lot of people don't take action because they're in mud up to their neck, but because the mud is warm, they don't realize that it just has a little bit further to go before they can't breathe anymore. So when I looked at the fact that really inside, I was still an entrepreneur that was wrapped in the body of a corporate professional, I said, one, how long can I do this, and how long can my bank account allow me to do this? Do I want to have a good retirement? Do I want to create a parallel direction for me if something happens? And honestly, for anybody that understands anything about economics, prices don't go down.
They only go up.
They go up.
Literally. What have you gained so far? What do you think that have you had your massive achievement, massive breakthrough, let's say?
I'm going to say this. There were surprises that I got when I came into the program. And, one, I think when someone makes a decision and basically you're putting skin in the game when you pay, for the accelerator. It's not so much that Duvall told me that when he was first developing the program, in the beginning, they wanted to give everybody everything, but you have some people that they just have to jump ahead, and they would take in so much information that they would get confused, frighten themselves, and then shut down. So what I saw and what I was able to benefit from was the way that they had the cadence set up. It made sure that I didn't get into an area of the process or the program until I had actually rooted myself in the previous foundational principles before that. So I wasn't jumping ahead and confusing myself about the steps that are next, because essentially by the time you get to the point where you have an MVP, they've created an outlier in you. You're a subject matter expert in your product. You know everything about it. You can discuss it from angles. You can justify your existence. You can defend why you believe you have a product that is worth someone actually paying for it and utilizing it to create some benefits in their lives.
Generally, people say that entrepreneurs are supposed to be young and full of energy, but I always feel like it's the experience that matters the most. So if you don't have enough experience, enough expertise about a specific industry, how can you bring about innovation over there? Like, you got to know the provenance if you want to give them a
Well, I my first entrepreneurial venture, I was probably 5, 6, 7 years into my career at that point in time. And I didn't know what I didn't know, so no one could make me believe that it couldn't be successful. And amid all of the mistakes that were made, amid all of the things that I didn't do, I was still able to build a business that eventually it got to the size where it was in like multiple countries, and it employed quite a few people. And I think the barrier for me at that point in time was you get to a point where the business has to be able to sustain and support, hundreds or potentially thousands of families that you have a corporate commitment to. And as the economy was shrinking, our rates were not. We couldn't go to our employees and that made 100,000 last year and say, hey, due to the fact that the dollar is shrinking and our competitors are coming in and their labor rates are lower, this year we're gonna be able to only pay you 85,000 instead of 100. And next year we're gonna be able to pay you 75,000. So you have to find a way that allows you to justify your value existence and be able to increase your profitability. And in some markets, the shrinkage is happening so fast that you can't pivot or find a new value area in traditional businesses that allow you to pivot and sustain the business.
6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, where do you think Align AI would be standing?
Right now, I have developed a fully functional product that is, it has an AI stack already built into it. It functions at a high level. From the standpoint of some aesthetics, it needs some cleanup, but, I needed more people's input. So I positioned myself to basically do a beta, or early users launch to make sure that I was getting as much feedback from product leaders that actually would use it. And that's where we are right now. So we basically, in about a week, we're set up so that we can basically start bringing people into the beta group, giving them access to the early adopters. I call it the grandfather plan, because if they participate in working on the beta, they'll be able to have that license at a very small fee forever.
Well, you got the unique selling point, and you're on your testing phase. So, well, that's amazing to know that you've come across so many hurdles, and you're at this stage of your product development. So, kudos to your efforts and dedication. And that would be the time. Time's up for now. And thank you so much for your time, Paul. I really appreciate that. And your experiences, your storytelling, it's amazing. It'd be nice to see you, doing some TED Talks eventually. People would love to hear your stories.
That would be incredible. I'm looking forward to that. And, I know that you're probably going to share this with some people that were just as scared as me when I was looking at this. Some may think that they're too old. They're not knowledgeable enough. If they can think it and dream it and envision it, there's somebody that created the tool that can help them basically build it and monetize it. So what used to be a deficiency in the old economy doesn't exist anymore. So if I actually had any words to pass on to somebody that is dealing with FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, it would be take action and don't stop learning until you get what you came for. And 2, keep your ears and eyes open, because there's always opportunity. There's just a lack of ideas.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Paul. That will be all for our podcast today. And it was a pleasure talking to you, Paul. I'll be making notes on those. That was very inspirational. So I'm making notes for myself as well. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate
it. Take care of yourself.
We'll talk to you.
Talk to you. Bye.
Bye-bye.